In the spring of 2015, Jan and I had the opportunity to sail the best of times north to Crystal River, which we'd never done before. Crystal River is about 45 miles due north of Tarpon Springs area. We had an opportunity to join up with the Dolphin Cruising Club, Gene and Joe Weatherup aboard Shenandoah, Joe and Kathy Manser aboard Halcyon, and go explore some place that we'd never been before. It was really a lot of fun. There are really three ports of anchorage in the Crystal River area. On the southern side, there's the Crystal River area itself, which we went to first. It's a little bit shallow getting into the shoal, but once you get in the river, it's perfectly fine. Slightly north of that is the Florida Barge Canal, which is deep water, straight, well-marked anchorage. Easy to get to even in the dark. And just to the north of the Florida Barge Canal is the Withlacoochee River, which we went to after we spent a few days in Kings Bay and Crystal River, which is another whole topic, another beautiful place to go. Basically, you just simply follow the channel markers into the mouth of the river and then start going up the river. The river is plenty deep, lots of water. You do have to kind of stay in the middle of the river, otherwise you wind up with tree limbs in your rigging. But other than that, it's a pretty easy trip past Yankeetown toward Inglis. When you get up toward Inglis and US 19, there's a large lagoon at a power station. Well, I'd say it's a large lagoon. We anchored 3 boats in there. Had plenty of room. Although, gentleman on the river came out and said to us, he says, "You all staying tonight?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, we don't see too many of you all up this way." Here's a short little movie clip of our cruise up the Withlacoochee. Absolutely beautiful, very scenic, and as I said, you do have to pay attention and keep your boat in the middle of the river, or otherwise you wind up with tree limbs in the middle of the rigging. But the water's plenty deep, nothing to worry about from that perspective. From the little anchorage where we were at, we all hopped in the dinghies and took a dinghy trip on the second day up the Withlacoochee River to have lunch up by the spillway. Basically, you can take a dinghy ride up the river. It'll go underneath the bridge at US 19, which is what you're seeing right there. And you go by all the little houses on the river and wave at the people that are fishing, and it's a very, very, very enjoyable scenic trip. Once you get to the end of the navigable water, if you will, you'll wind up at the spillway, which is from out of the river. That was a function of the barge canal. They basically, when they built the barge canal, they split the Withlacoochee River in half, and is what you're seeing across the bottom there is that straight long ditch is the Florida Barge Canal. Actually, we spent the following day in the barge canal before heading home. Took us all day to head back out the Withlacoochee River and about 3 miles offshore to get water deep enough to turn around and come back in the barge canal. And we ended up anchored about a mile away from where we were the day before. Here are a few slides of the dinghy trip from our anchorage up to the spillway. Absolutely beautiful scenery, as you can see, just completely enjoyable. Everybody should go do it at least once in their lifetime.